Again, I am honored for this opportunity and delighted to share my thoughts with this very distinguished audience. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, thank you very, very much for a very stimulating and informative address. Just for the sake of the audience, the President has agreed to take a few questions. What I would like to do is to call on the representatives of several of the co-host organizations to address their questions to the President. They will do that by microphone. The remainder of the questions will be taken in written text. But before I call on the representatives of some of the co-host organizations, Mr. President, I would like to start the discussion with you by asking two questions. One question is one that you've probably been asked and will be asked many times over the next week or so by your colleagues in government and by others in Nigeria. And that is, you've had an opportunity over the last 3 days to meet with President Obama, with Vice President Biden, Secretary of State Kerry, Secretary of Treasury Jack Lew, and probably most of the senior members of the U.S. cabinet. How do you assess that visit, your visit, and how do you think you've come out of it? The second question for me involves a historical question. You mentioned very briefly in your speech that you had served as head of state for approximately 20 months, nearly 30 years ago. What lessons do you take from that previous experience as head of state that you will learn and apply and use as you move forward in your current tenure as president?
Thank you very much for your difficult questions. The first one, I'm very impressed with the position taken by President Obama and the United States. I think this became very clear to us in Nigeria from the time Secretary of State Kerry went to Nigeria, saw the former president, saw the chairman of the Electoral Commission, Professor Jiga, and saw the opposition. And to be candid, read the right act to us as Nigerians that the United States will not accept unconstitutional conduct of the election. And the pressure was sustained by the United States up to the last day. I think this is the best thing that happened to Nigeria for a very long time. And I think I'm in a position to assess that, having tried to become the president 3 times. And having failed 3 times, and having ended up with the Supreme Court 3 times. For that, we will ever remain grateful to the United States. Because it has stabilized the polity in Nigeria. and certainly is going to stabilize democracy, and therefore improve security and the economy. And I assure you that Nigerians are very grateful for that. On your second question, you ought to have educated the audience, not that they don't know, that the last time I was head of state, I came in a different form. I came in a camouflage. Although I ended up in detention for more than the time I was in the government. But that's part of the experience that I enjoyed. So I don't think I can compare the experiences of my first being head of state or being military president and now being an elected president. It's very difficult to compare, but perhaps I will compliment your question by saying that you have asked what kept me trying on and on. Mainly, I think is what happened in 1991 when I went home after serving meditation. I think I was underutilized, but then suddenly the Soviet Union collapsed. And that made a large impression on me, a significant one. An empire in the 20th century collapsed without a shot being fired. And everybody ran home. And then 18 republics developed from the Soviet Union. That was when I was convinced, having been in the military for 25 years or so, that the multi-party democratic system was the best form of governance. With the caveat that elections must be free and fair. I have said this so often because I believe in it. That was why I decided to be a politician, and I registered as one in April 2002, and by the following year, that party, although it had governors, it had senators, gave me the ticket. Of course, you know I lost. And I spent 30 months in court. And again, the significance of that is exposing our institutions. After 27 months from lower court to Supreme Court, we went and made presentation in Supreme Court for 2 3/4 hours. The following day, the panel of Supreme Court went on a 3-month holiday. When they came back, it took them 45 minutes to dismiss our case. In 2007, I tried again. And thank goodness the international observer teams, they mentioned it. The 2007 election was conducted in a most dishonorable way. I think I spent 20 months. Again, the Supreme Court said, oh, well, the court was divided into 2. There were a panel of 6 justices of the Supreme Court, presided over by the Chief Justice, who formed the number 7. 3 justices said the election was not conducted according to law. Therefore, they have annulled it. 3 justices said, well, there were some flaws, but all the same PDP has won. The Chief Justice cast his vote with those that said PDP won. So I lost 3-4, as if it were rehearsed. In 2011, again I attempted and I lost. And I spent, I think, 8 or 9 months in court. So here I am after the fourth attempt.